You know, unlike the speaker, my standing ovation usually happens when I sit down, and you all get excited. First, I want to congratulate the speaker for a number of reasons, many of which were highlighted before, but one thing that was left unsaid was that she is the first speaker in over a decade to have to be speaker and deal with the challenges of office while at the same time running for re-election and worrying about the council's re-election that hasn't been done in a decade. And to that particular speaker's credit, she didn't know she was running for re-election up until about 3 months, 4 months before she had to start running. So you really had a more challenging experience than many speakers who came before you, and that should be part of this record and part of your commendation. So I'd like to briefly welcome the new members for coming today and to remind us all that we are going to be part of this body on the 400th anniversary of this city. For 400 years, 4 centuries, people have sat in these seats before us, and each with their own unique visions and goals and agendas and ideas of what makes a New Yorker, they've managed to keep this city going for a long time. This office that we inherited, with all due respect to my friends in Congress, this is 200 years older than your office. And I had to look it up. It's actually a year older than the Attorney General, wherever she happened to be right now. But don't forget that. And in this building, there's so many paintings and plaques dedicated to people who have come before us. And I sat in the minority leader's office for 2 years now, a little over 2 years, and I finally decided to look up who is the subject of this massive painting that happens to be located behind my desk. It's a guy named Ward Benjamin Burnett, and he was a general in the Mexican-American War. And that's not why his picture is here in New York City, in City Hall. His picture's here because in the 1850s, he was tasked with creating the water system that was to supply the 140,000 people who lived in the city of Brooklyn at that time. And when he got the job, when he was hired as the chief engineer, he said it would cost $4,025,000. The job gets done. A few years later, he has to produce a report to the Common Council. It turns out 167 years ago, they like reporting bills too. So he gives this report, and he says the final price is $4,025,000. So the imparting wisdom I'll leave with you is that if you are diligent and careful with the public's money, and you treat it as your own, even in the headwinds of this budget crisis that we're about to confront, you too can have your portrait in the Minority Leader's office. Thank you.